My name is Alan John Booth. This is the beginning of my first book called Alan John. The story begins. When I took my first breath, I thought my lungs were going to burst. We've been together, me and John, as one, for 9 months in our first world. Now we're here. It's a strange, noisy world with lots of lights. My first thoughts were, John, where's my twin? I tried to look around for him. He was there at my side, struggling for breath in this new world. Then he went all limp as he looked at me. He took his last breath. As he left me, a shining light came out of his body, spinning, pulsating. His soul entered my body as his thoughts were passed on to me. Now we will always be as one. Now we are one. I'll always be with you, so I was called Alan John. So we grew up in a small village, me and John. Nobody knew he was inside me, supporting me in a crisis. He was always there for me, giving me strength and backup. And when I was insecure and full of doubt, John was always there for me. Together, we were unbeatable. My first few years were very quiet. I thought he had gone away from my new life. I had the support of Mum and Dad, and he probably wasn't needed. But as I grew up, I got more independent. I would need John, or would I? My first experience of John was when I was about 7. It was a Friday. We lived in 5 cottages on the edge of the village. As we went past Hibbert's cottage, Alan Hibbert was on the small holding they had, and he was ploughing the field with the horse. Mum and Dad had just got paid and done the shopping for a week. Mum came into the cottage, which was on the edge of the village. A couple of days before, my schoolmate, Tup, Alan Nicholson, wanted a £1 note for some fag cards. So as Mum came out to put her purse on the mantelpiece, John came into my head, saying, take £1 from Mum's purse. She will never know. Stepping forward, no, John, that's not fair. Dad works hard down the coal mine for that money. We shouldn't be doing things like that. I'm in control, and I say no. Yes, in control for now, John whispered to himself. Looking through the window, I could see my pal next door, Ray Garfitt. Ray had a bad stutter due to his dad, who was a bully, and reacted violently at the slightest chance. As I went outside, Alan Hibbert was just leading the horse off the small holding and into the house with the horse. I ran down to the end cottage to see what was happening. He led the horse to the sink, and it was lapping from the sink. Just then, as the horse was drinking, it let off an enormous fart and started to make a large dollop in the kitchen. Quick, Mrs. Hibbert said, go and fetch it and put it round the potatoes. Then Alan Hibbert fetched a shovel and shoveled it up as if it were gold dust. That was life at the Hibberts. They were a large family and very poor. When we had a meal, the kids would sit round the table with their eyes as big as dinner plates. So Mum used to try to feed them all. After the fuss had died down, Ray produced a bag of marbles from his pocket. They were the latest craze. Oh, they are lovely, I thought. I will swap you with some conkers for some marbles. Ray stuttered, I don't want any conkers. I was getting annoyed and wound up. John was saying in my head, take them off him. I was getting confused now. Wasn't quite sure what to do. Then Ray said, you can have half and we will have a game. I could feel John retreating to the background, getting quieter. I was so excited I ran into the house to show Dad. He said, don't put them in your mouth or you'll swallow it. As I went outside, I got confused and put one in my mouth and swallowed it. Dad panicked, better fetch Mr. Hibbert. He fetched his lorry and went straight to the hospital on the back of his lorry, but the doctor said, there's no problem, it will pass through you. So the panic was over. A couple of days later, I got my elbow back. It was a warm sunny day. As I opened the front door, looking across the yard, there was a dog in the grass, there with its tongue hanging out. As if it looked, it came towards me, slowly, weakly. Hello, I said. As it got to the doorstep, I could see the name tag on it. It said Sally. I went to fetch Sally a drink. What's up, girl? I said. Just as then, Sally was drinking from the bowl. Ray came up to me and said, where have you got the dog from, Al? I don't know, it just wandered up. He looks hungry. I'll have a look into this, see if you've got anything. The only thing we've got is sausage meat, but we can't take that. John came into my mind, yes we can. The dog's hungry. Yeah, right, John said, so I took the meat out for Sally. Sally followed me all day while I was playing with Ray. I don't know what I'm going to do with the dog. Mum won't let me keep it. I know, let's keep it in Mr. Hibbert's pigsty, which is empty at the moment. During the night, Sally started howling and woke me up. I started to get wound up thinking, what if she woke everybody up? They will find her. So I got dressed, made myself go outside to the pigsty with some bread and water. Sally lay, calmed Sally down. All of a sudden, I could hear Mum shouting to me, Alan, Alan. So I ran out of the pigsty towards Mum, held my arms out as though I was sleepwalking. Where am I, Mum? Where am I, Mum? Where have you been? Don't know, I was asleep, I said, pretty frightened. She put me to bed. Mum sat in the bed till I fell asleep. Next thing I knew, it was morning. I was up at the crack of dawn, fed Sally. I'm going to have trouble feeding Sally without anybody finding her. As I was in the pigsty, Ray came in with some food he had nicked. Shall we take you for a walk, Ray? Come on then. So we set off for the woods. I know we shouldn't be going to the woods, I thought to myself. Dad said, no, don't go to the woods. But for once, I let John overrule me. Down past the allotments, across the field, we were in the woods. Sally was loving running round, and suddenly a boy came over the hill. Looked about 10, with a red scarf on. When he spotted Sally running towards her, waving a big stick, before I knew what was happening, John took over, diving on him, taking the stick off the boy, and he was running away, shouting, I will be back for her. Next morning, we were sitting having breakfast when there was a loud knocking on the door. As my dad got up, I felt a bit nervous. As he opened the door, I could see the boy with the red scarf. I've come for my dog. Your son has got my dog. Alan, my dad shouted. What's he on about? I nervously explained the situation. He said to me, where is the dog? It's in Mr. Hibbert's pigsty, I stuttered, sounding like my Ray. Come on, let's go. As we reached the pigsty, Dad said to him, give him the dog back. John shouted out from the back of my mind, no chance, he beats the dog. I cringed, expecting the clip round the ears. Dad said, how much do you want for the dog? £5. Then Dad surprisingly pulled a £5 note out of his pocket as he gave it to the boy and said, now be off with you. The boy gave a little skip and a grin and walked away. A nice dog, that, Dad said. Alan, bring Sally into the house. We'll give her a big bone to chew on. I was totally shocked at Dad's reaction, and he could knock me down with a feather. That's how Sally became part of our lives. Listen again to more of our first book tomorrow. Bye for now, Alan John Booth.